everybody, Tom, PC editor at IGN, here with Richard Garfield, the designer behind Artifact, and we're here to break down some of the high-level strategy in a draft match. If you want to see us draft the deck we are playing with, we have another video. You can go click that, watch us kind of go into all the inside of why we picked the cards the way we did, why we built it the way we did. The answer is mostly fun. But Richard, let's get into it. We are now fighting with this mostly black with a little bit of blue and green deck that we're playing.
Yeah, that's right.
So what do you do at the beginning of a match? Like, how do you immediately survey the battlefield?
Well, I like to certainly check out all the lanes and see what the matchups are, and we can see here that we not only neither of our heroes are dying, and we've got nothing we can play, so there's not much going on here. But if I could play something here, I would just check ahead to see whether there was something that I better save.
Right.
Now here, there's no saving because we've got three different colors. We've got three different colors out there, so I can only play everything in one lane as it is.
Yeah. In fact, the only card that we're going to be able to play are the trebuchets in the third lane.
That's right.
With our black hero.
So we can just pass along there.
Not a lot going on in this lane, it looks like, either. He's got a Magnus as well, so we're sharing a hero there.
So
little action going on here.
Yeah, so not clear where we should put our trebuchets, but they should probably let's put them down somewhere. What lane do you like?
It's interesting. I feel like that lane's going to be tricky, so I kind of want to go with like the left lane to start.
Okay.
It is useless to run.
And we can actually play both of them this round. All right, so they've decided to do nothing. We're going to kill one of their heroes there, which will be a great. It's going to be a great little gold boost at the very beginning of the match.
Okay.
Man, two trebuchets in the starting hand seems like a pretty strong opener. All right, we got 5 gold because we killed that hero. How do you think about early buys? When do you buy cheap things compared to saving money, that sort of stuff?
So I usually don't save up my money. I like all the cheap stuff as opposed to saving up my money for anything in particular except for golden tickets occasionally. But I think getting this cloak or getting the fountain flask is good.
Yeah, I agree with that cloak for sure.
Okay.
It's kind of a little unfortunate that the secret shop also popped up a cloak there.
Yeah. So now we're going to decide where to put the sniper, and the only lane which would probably be bad to put them in is down here because that would double up our black heroes in one lane. Front lane is pretty good though, and
15 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have much much defense, which means that putting him in a busy lane, well, either lane would probably be fine. So,
and also, we don't have any black cards that we can use with him yet, but we're about to draw 2. Is that right?
Yeah. Each round you draw 2 new cards, so we could get them pretty soon. And
we actually got some good placement there, where he lined up with the creep rather than the enemy hero.
That's right. Although that particular enemy hero lineup is not so bad because this guy's not very big either. So one thing that's interesting about this matchup is you can see our opponent has drafted two. What are these guys?
Skywrath Mage,
yeah. And so we can expect 6 of these Mystic Flares from their deck.
And what does that do? 12 damage evenly divided among units and a unit and its allied neighbors. Oh wow. So there's going to be a lot of kind of direct but randomized damage coming at us.
Yes. So we can drop down this cloak, which is actually we could buff him up if we can look ahead. She might be a good target for that too. Putting out the Vandal, this is probably
the lane to do it
because we've got the trebuchets putting extra damage on it, and putting somebody in front of that hero is not bad either. Because that hero is very transient and will give us some money.
Into this
transient. Is that a nice way of saying weak? Or low health?
Low health,
yeah.
And
we want to save the Traveler's Cloak, so we just kind of hang on to it?
I think either of these are actually good targets for that, but I like to keep as many of my heroes alive as possible, so I'll probably just save it.
Especially in that lane, which is, as you described it, busy.
Yeah.
So we're taking a little tower damage here, but not as much as we're just be dealing with effects. We kill a creep, which is good, a little gold gain. Here,
So
the Astral Stunning unit. Oh, right, this is the
this
one
was
that we
the
drafted.
include
Yes.
card. Yeah. Let's begin by increasing the toughness over here.
So next turn, if nothing changes, we will end up trading with that green hero on the next combat, assuming nothing changes.
That's right.
So that's good. The cloak did give us a way to do that.
Okay. So the stun might have been a good thing to lead off because we could have shut that down, but we can always save it for later too and do it next turn.
Gotcha.
So,
all right.
because I'd rather use the stun when it has the possibility of taking away the opponent's opportunity to cast things.
Right.
Also, doing damage to them is not bad either because we can, if we can get rid of them, again, more money.
So
for a
that's
golden ticket.
that's a part of that's a part of the stun, right? Is that it also silences.
Yeah.
So if you use it on a green hero, you wouldn't be able to cast green
right.
spells in that lane unless they have another green hero. All right. So we can't really do anything in this lane, or at least not play any cards.
Right. In the future, we'll be able to do this, the silence unit, which will keep them from casting but won't keep them from fighting.
Right.
Yeah, but right
And
now...
that's another one of the cards that could be used on an enemy or an ally,
That's right.
depending on how you want to use it. That seems like I feel like we're doing okay here. Is that an alright vibe? Is that the left and right lane I feel like are doing pretty good.
Yeah. Well, this one's got a lot of pressure on it. So let's see, what do we got here? 7 gold. We can draw a card, or we can buff somebody with 8 health. I think increasing the longevity of our guys is probably a good thing to do at this point.
And is that a thing you try to focus on early game? Because these items do stick around even if a hero dies. So are you usually focusing on trying to kind of get those items quicker?
Yes.
Or the things that you can equip, that is?
Yeah. No, I'm sure that I don't save my money as much as I should, but getting them early has this utility that you get the items to use them longer throughout the game. So there is something to be said for that.
So we've got our Winter Wyvern going in against 2 Skywrath mages, or his are going on the board as well. That is. Where are you looking for this guy, and why?
Well, we've got the first.
15
The obvious place to put it is the middle, because then we get to play our black in any lane. In actuality, we've only got 1 black card in our hand. We might draw some more. But the middle lane is not a bad
12
place
seconds
either, because it's going to be
3,
hero-less pretty soon.
2, 1.
And it gives us an opportunity to potentially trade against the 5/5, or any of the other things he's going to be playing, actually. So when we're against the creep, I feel like that's actually the least good thing for it to line up against, but we can worry about that in the next lane. So as you said, this is getting more pressured than I was actually expecting.
No, and these guys, just
What's their ability?
at the beginning of the action phase, they deal 2 damage to a random
Enemy neighbor. Right, gotcha.
So this one did this one, this one did this.
Yeah.
So they're I would love to get rid of them.
Now we've got some black cards to play. We actually have a fair amount of choice here.
Okay, so this one gives a
15
unit
seconds
+3 attack and +3 cleave. That could be nice right now.
Yeah, if we played it on, that's what I was thinking, on the sniper
maybe
maybe,
right.
or
Yeah.
because then we're clearing out a few more people. And we could even potentially play the Furline Mantle on Magnus and save him.
Yeah.
Because if the items are free. Oh, wow. That didn't go great.
Nope.
That brings up an interesting question, though, which is, how do you, what cards are you worried about right now, right? Like, how much are you thinking ahead about, like, okay, my opponent has these colors, which means they might have these effects?
You should be thinking about that a lot. Right now, though, I'm thinking just turn to turn. In particular, since you know so much of the deck is based on these guys, you can predict those plays.
All right, what are you thinking here, Ben?
15 seconds.
So I'm thinking about keeping this guy alive, and then we've also got the the astral imprisonment, we could shut down this guy.
Oh yeah, save a little damage. Because he wouldn't be targeted by an attack this turn anyway, so the damage immunity doesn't matter. Is there a way to keep our blue hero alive? I'm trying to think.
Oh, well, we got the man.
So we'd have to replace.
We'd have to replace
item.
it, so that's not very exciting.
Right.
No, but you know, losing a hero is not the worst thing in the world. So
and the Winter Wyvern's ability, which would let him move to a different combat position,
and give him +4 attack.
but it's an empty combat position, so we wouldn't be able to switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
He wouldn't be able to switch with the blue hero to save his life.
No.
No. So we could swap him over to kill the satyr before it gets too big.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea.
On wings, winter.
That +4 attack also, I forgot about that part.
I'll give my
Oh, but now he's got a rebel decoy, so he's now going to be able to swap the satyr if he wants to.
Yeah, and we can, you know, Furline Mantle him. That might not be bad to give him a little bit of survivability.
The Wyvern?
Yeah.
A non-book. Interesting.
Hope this works.
So, the rebel decoy is a good way to save him, which is unfortunate.
And there's a lot of strategy around trying to see, like, if the rebel decoy was already out on the field and we knew that was coming, we could try to wait on using certain effects to try to get him to use his rebel decoy ability first, and then swap and try to have him waste that ability pretty much.
Yeah, no, that is true. Okay.
So Blood Rage works on any unit, right? Not just heroes.
Right. Yes. So we could silence him and give him +4 attack. I'm thinking of just going wider with the Vandal, getting a little extra pressure on this tower.
Because neither of those creeps are going to die either, so it's not like.
Well, he's got the.
Oh, he's got the big.
The random damage distributor. Yeah. So nothing's permanent.
This seems like an okay lane. It's funny to me because I'm still not familiar with a lot of the cards, so it's so hard to predict what sort of massive swings, like say a dimensional portal, might come out at any moment.
Yeah. No, that is certainly as you get to know the cards better, you can anticipate what the different threats, the different colors are going to be bringing.
So do you consider the fact that our Bloodseeker is the unblocked one, is that lucky or unlucky? Is it good that he's not killing, or that he's dealing damage instead of killing a creep, or would you rather him kill the creep here?
I think probably doing damage is probably better, given the way we've drafted.
Mm-hmm. Kind of more focused on just dealing tower
damage.
Yeah.
If it was taking out an enemy, if this guy was over here, you know, my answer would be different.
Yeah. I'm also realizing that we are wasting our turn timer a little bit, so we might have to.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have enough money for the golden ticket. I'm so sorry.
Darn. Saved.
We'll save up. We'll
Saved
save up
by my own lack of restraint. Well, the nice thing is we don't have to decide where to put any heroes this round.
I mean, that's nice, but staring down this board, I'm not entirely happy about it.
This board will be gone soon. We won't have to look at it.
And do you mean just because we're going to abandon that tower?
No, just because it'll move to the side and then we won't have to look at it.
You mean we physically won't have to look at it?
I mean, I can go over here right now if it makes us feel better.
How many rounds about does a game usually last? Like roughly?
Now.
Because the reason I ask is we're dealing 4 damage to that tower per turn, right?
Yep.
So in 6 turns, that tower is going to die unless he destroys the improvements on it. Which means we could potentially abandon this lane and just focus on killing one other tower.
6 turns is too long to gamble
6 turns
on,
is
but
too
it's
long. Okay.
you know, but it's definitely something. So if we are able to.
So he's even leaving. He knows it's dead.
Yeah. No, it's going to be hard to stop him. In particular, we don't have any big clears that I can remember because we focus so much on the direct tower damage.
We've got a couple cards that are the deal 2 to all enemies or deal 4 to all enemies, right? I can't remember the exact names.
Yeah.
But not a whole lot besides that, like you said. Oh man, he's going hard. So he's putting more minions or more creeps that are just sort of disposable here, but he's taking out his hero to kind of
So he's
put him somewhere else.
Getting his heroes into other lanes. So that's very nasty for us because we've got this threat, and he doesn't even have any heroes committed here.
Yeah,
so,
that's rough. All right, here we can actually play cards though, which is nice.
yeah, a good change.
Sister of the Veil, you actually get to, you can choose her combat target.
Yeah.
But there's not quite enough she can do. We could potentially, we can't play the Sister of the Veil and Blood Rage, unfortunately. Otherwise, we would be able to.
We could put her here and.
Well, the armor would block that,
armor,
right?
The armor, yeah, I thought it was 5/5. It's 4/5, so that's not going to do it.
15 seconds remaining.
We could just play the Sister of the Veil just to block some damage, essentially.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be just blocking, getting some damage out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind that onto the Wrath,
3, 2.
the mage there.
Tell me, Oracle, what name is on my list?
We could also use her to now focus on the creep and clear that, but you'd rather just deal damage to the hero.
Well.
Oh no! So that was that random to its unit and its neighbors,
so
but they didn't have any neighbors.
all alone.
I can use this.
All right. So at this point, what are we thinking about? Like, what is our game plan here? What are you worried about? Because I was feeling confident, and now I feel like that confidence was wholly misplaced.
Yeah, well, the first few rounds, it's really hard to get too much confidence.
I'm learning that.
So, yeah.
There's not a whole lot to do.
No, when our heroes come back, we'll see.
We could always target the satyr instead if we're worried about that
1
growing
minute
too much.
until forced
Well,
surrender.
also it's not doing much there.
Okay. Well, let's save our time then.
You won't
And-
feel a thing.
So explain real quick, because we are bumping up against this because we're talking through so many plays, but there's like time pools for each player, and you get 2 more minutes at the end of each round. Is that right?
That's right. So,
So you're not gonna, as long as you're not taking 2 minutes for an entire turn or round, you're not gonna run out of time. You're
That's
gonna
right.
get those 2 minutes back each
yeah.
time.
No, each round you get your pool gets recharged to some extent, which means
1 minute until forced surrender.
All right. We could just go hard with a Blood Rage on the Vandal. If we wanted to just do that, we could go do a Blood Rage on him to kill the Skywrath Mage on the creep on the left.
on this guy.
Yeah, just to kill the
yeah.
Mage.
Sure. Let's do
Flayed
that.
twins, give me aid.
I just feel so, if we don't do that, I feel so passive, right? I
Yeah.
feel so inactive.
No.
1 minute until forced surrender.
Oh, that's that card again. But we got a little lucky with the damage, didn't kill the Bloodseeker.
Forced surrender in 30 seconds.
Forced surrender, that's so ominous.
Okay, so we've got 8. Well, we won't be needing that because our guys have been having no problem getting back to the fountain. Yeah, let's just get some armor.
All right. I like that plan. Plus, it saves us a little money in case the golden ticket pops back up.
Okay, so we've got 1 of every color. Our mana is 7, so we'll be able to assassinate.
Okay. I feel like we want to go into the middle and the right lane. I feel like we kind of want to abandon the left lane.
Yeah.
You don't feel as confident about that. I trust you here.
Yeah, well, I think we have to do this lane. I think so. I think the middle, you are right. The right lane, we've got to hope that that holds on its own. But I don't think dropping something into this lane is inappropriate either, because we can do like
remaining.
like if we put him here, he's likely to survive because he's in this lane, and he can do a downhill assassinate, which is
5 seconds.
Gotcha.
probably useful.
3,
Can assassinate
2,
on
Downward.
a further board.
Yeah, because
right.
this one does 10 piercing damage to a unit in any lane, so we can begin to maybe make this lane a little bit less of a threat.
The other thing we could have potentially thought about is putting our blue hero here in case we drew the card that was deal 4 to all enemies.
That.
But that's a little riskier
No,
because we don't know.
that would have been good, because that might be our only chance here. Or this would have, well, this wouldn't have stopped it, but
Right. But that, like you said, the assassinate we know we have.
that's right. So it does 10 piercing, which means we can take out this quite efficiently, but unfortunately that doesn't remove his ability to play blue. We can take out this, which is pretty expensive, but it saves us 6 damage and prevents him from playing green, which is good.
Yeah, I feel like that's the right play.
I think, unfortunately, I think that's probably...
I like that animation. Man, they're really ganging up on that one melee creep.
1 minute until forced
So this one,
surrender.
let's get rid of this one,
Okay.
because we don't need to get too much more damage here.
1 minute until forced surrender.
And they
Because this
didn't
is
break the tower that turn, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
1 minute until forced surrender.
Oof.
No, the blue is certainly what we wanted.
Yeah.
So we are going to lose this tower this round. So I think this is fine.
You're no match for me.
This seems I honestly was very confident, and I feel like this is not the type of game, like you said, this is not the type of game that you can be overly confident early on in.
Yeah.
It's it can twist and turn on you in unexpected ways. I'm sure it would have been far less confident if I knew the cards better, but man, this snowballed fast on us. Like
Yeah.
you said, that Skywrath Mage is 6 of that card. He's had it so much that he's been able to clear really, really efficiently.
Right. Well, with 6 in a 40-card deck, you can get it pretty consistently.
So I feel like we want to go Blood Rage on the middle, right? Just to
Sure.
kill out that guy, hopefully.
Forced surrender in 30 seconds.
We're really cutting it close on the timer here.
Forced surrender in 30 seconds.
We get it. All right, so he managed to save him. Do you think anything here particularly helps us? The Blade of the Vigil or
Well, sure as...
the Town Portal?
Yeah, I think the Blade of the Vigil's good. Maybe we can clear some area, because we don't actually have to do too much here to finish that tower, even if they knock it, even if he knocks it down first.
Okay.
And extra 4 health
15
is,
seconds
seems like if
remaining.
it can keep somebody alive, it's worth it.
Cool.
Especially this when we're grasping at straws.
You don't really have the luxury of being able to hold on to gold when you're playing from behind.
No. So he's going to be doing 11 to this lane next turn. Now, fortunately we've got both our grunts running here, so they might be able to stop things.
Yeah.
And we might just have to count on that. He's already got this one, so that would be the end of the game for us.
Right.
So we've only got, yeah. So I think
15 seconds remaining.
Might have to just go safe, go into the left lane. That's what I do, is just play it real safe. But playing it
going
safe
down
sometimes
here
make
is
you
like
lose games.
since our only real chance is that we're able to do a few more damage to this one and take this one as well.
Right.
Might have had to Hail Mary and throw him down here and hope that we can get enough there, but
The safe play. The play that keeps you alive doesn't always win you the game.
Yeah.
It just keeps you alive. So I feel like the Blade of the Vigil onto the Winter Wyvern here is not a bad play. But maybe that's because that would do enough. Oh, man.
so we've got the.
Another trebuchets.
So we need to block them, and we actually cannot. So
How much does a blade do for cleave? It's 2
doesn't.
damage?
it does. We can take out more of these guys, but it doesn't really matter because they
not
still
quite
do.
enough,
they,
right.
they still take the damage. They, even if it did 1,000 extra damage to them.
until
We couldn't prevent them from.
Of course. So that's game, unfortunately.
Yep.
Things snowballed quick on us, but it's interesting to see now in the draft format you would be able to go back and would you be able to make changes to your deck?
Yep.
So you'd be able
so
to.
you can substitute out. You could even go from 3-color down to 2-color if you wanted to.
So you can make pretty big changes, and maybe from that showing, maybe we might need to for the next game. But thank you very much for watching. Like I said before, we have a how-to-play video on Artifact. If none of that made sense to you, you can check out. You can also see us drafting this deck and go into the decisions we made. Many of them clearly not panning out for us. But Richard, thank you very much for showing off Artifact's draft format.
Yeah, no, it's a really fun way to play.
Yeah, and for everything else Artifact, stay right here on IGN.